78.6 FM, positive vibes of Winsom. It's so good to be back in the booth with everyone. I'm excited to be back on the air. It's been a few weeks. So now that I'm back, what are we talking about? Well, we always start off the segment with the gratitude segment. So we want to say thank you to all of our supporters, all of our teammates, contributors, anyone who's been sponsoring our programs, our classes, our lessons. Thank you. If I haven't told you in person, then let me go ahead and be the first one to say it now. Thank you. We couldn't do what we do right now without your support, belief, encouragement, trust. It's been significant in everything that we do here at 78.6 FM. Everything I do when I'm in the classroom, bringing those lessons with me. Everything that I'm doing when it comes to traveling. Some of the adventures that we have coming up soon. So excited I can share that because I've been away from the airways for a little while. So some of the things that you might not notice, yes, I am on what they call permissive leave, right? So I get to plan my next chapter right now. I'm really excited. Got some interviews coming up. I got an interview on Monday, so I'm mentally preparing for that. Some out processing going on, a lot of medical appointments. So if you don't know, when you're transitioning from the military, you have a lot of medical appointments, right? At a certain age, I think for everybody, our check oil light comes on, and that's what happens. They want to see exactly what's been going on with my mind, my body since I've served. So I'm going through that process right now as well. Very grateful for everyone and everything that has been a part of this story. Dropping videos every once in a while. I dropped the 75 days out from retirement. I think the next one I drop would be 60 days to retirement. Really excited to reflect. So very grateful for the folks who appreciate those videos or have appreciated them so far. Working on what I want to say, right? Because I'm not doing the traditional retirement ceremony. A lot of people ask me, why aren't you doing the traditional ceremony? This isn't my first rodeo. In 2022, I had already went and did what they call the Skill Bridge program. I was an intern. I split time with the American Forces Network and the Military Family Readiness Center. Had a lot of opportunities to go out there and to engage with the community and understand what the next chapter looked like. So I already left once. For me to do another military retirement to me is silly, right? I'm just walking out the door this time. Make it smarter, not harder, if you will. So I'm excited. I'm excited about the next chapter. Being able to still do and support a lot of the programs that I do now, still be around a lot of the same people, just in a different capacity. And I think that's significant, especially because this is a new story being told. A lot of people, are you scared? No, been here before. Where are you going to be? I'm already where I want to be. What are you going to do next? I'm already doing it. So a lot of these things that are happening at a great time, at a crazy window in my life. I don't feel 47. Let's say that again. I don't feel 47. There are some things when you get older you just can't control, right? Your age dictates certain things in a lot of cases, whereas I'm at the gym this morning and I'm looking at some of my friends who have a lot more limitations than me, and I'm able to get a good workout in. Getting a good night's sleep. Of course, you guys know my story. I have insomnia, so of course my sleep is medication driven. But the point is, I'm able to get a good night's sleep, get a good start to my day, work out before the radio, come to the radio, speak to an audience who's listening in. And I have to remember to slow down, so forgive me. I know that there's some people listening in who are not avid English speakers, right? So forgive me from speaking too fast. But the point is, I understand that I'm in a very special place right now in my life. Very excited of what's to come. I'm very excited for these opportunities to give back to the community. Very excited to be able to educate, encourage, and inspire. But I couldn't do it without the people, the opportunities, and I could say a lot of it was luck in some cases, right? Just happened to find the right spaces and time, but it's been a blessing to have the right people in my life to make sure that I was in the right spaces, that I was in the right mindset, that I was prepared mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, you name it. These people were always making sure that I was on point and ready for these things. Now that I'm sitting here in the booth, which, I haven't done in a long time, I recognize that things are changing. Things change every day. I'm talking to friends who are still in the force. I'm talking to friends who are on the other side, and I'm taking storylines on, right? When I'm coaching people, I'm understanding that everyone has a story. So I'm very grateful, A, that people are sharing their story with me. Very grateful, B, that I can be a part of other people's story. And very grateful, C, that there are people who trust me with their time, their energy, their stories, their lives. Man, being in the radio is just a piece of it. There's any idiot with a podcast, any idiot can get a microphone and just start talking, but having the opportunity to speak to a community, to actually have folks who are driving around listening to you, speaking life into them is important to me. So these things that we talk about, these lessons that we bring in here and into the room, I don't take that lightly. So I'm very grateful for the folks here at FM 78.6 FM that trust me to do that. And we talk about gratitude at its lowest level, right? In this first segment, it's always about thank yous. And Trainer's Warehouse, I'm not even on LinkedIn as much as a lot of my friends. A lot of my friends, I will tell you, I know a lot of people who are on LinkedIn every day because they know they're fighting against an algorithm. I don't play that game. I don't post on Facebook every day. It's very rare that I'm even on these things. Usually I'm thinking about building something, or I'm working on a speech, or I'm working on this radio segment, or I'm working on a class, or I'm building slides, or I'm working on my book, or I'm doing all of these things. I don't have time to keep up with social media. But I do listen to YouTube when I'm driving. There's certain people that I like to listen to that make me laugh, that make me smile. Some people just zap my energy, I realize lately. There's certain speakers who I'm like, I don't need to listen to that in the morning or on my way to work, right? And I changed the way I process my day. I don't jump into the news or into YouTube, and I'm very grateful that I caught that about myself, that I don't need the news first thing in the morning. I need to recharge. I need to wake up. I need to go to the gym. I need to listen to motivational music. I need to listen to something that brings me energy. I need to go out and do whatever it is that launches me into my day with a great positive mindset. I might see something when I look at YouTube on the way to work. If I'm not listening to my motivational music, or if I already listened to it for 3 hours by this time, let me see what's going on in the world. And that's usually just for conversational purposes, right? Because you want to be able to talk about things. If one of your coworkers comes and brings something to you that happened overnight that you're not even tracking, now I want to know what's going on, but I don't get obsessed. So I'm grateful for the opportunity, or for the realization, not to be obsessed in those things. There's a lot of people that are going to a rabbit hole first thing in the morning. Now their mind is just taken away when you talk to them for the first time. That first conversation is like, whoa, are you okay? But I'm grateful for the realization that it's not a good thing to get trapped in that rabbit hole in the morning. It's to start your day off right, with the right energy, with the right motivation, with the right self-affirmation, with the right mindset. All of those things matter. Because when you do that for yourself, when you start your day off with direction, when you start your day off with power. And people, when I say that, people are like, what do you mean with power? Like I'm He-Man raising the sword. No, listen to what I'm saying to you. Instead of waking up aimless, instead of waking up whatever's going on in the world, instead of waking up whatever happened yesterday, instead of waking up with just whatever happens next, have a plan. When you wake up and when you jump into that day, have a routine. Let me tell you what a power routine looks like. You wake up. I was teasing one of the classes. You know, some people put the ice in the bowl and they put their face in it just to give them that quick zope. Bam. Some people take a cold shower to wake up. Whatever it is, when you get up, to help you wake up, to get up into your day. And then I launch into the gym. I know if I don't go to the gym, as soon as I wake up, if I go to the office first, if I check my email first, if I look at my email on my phone first, if I do anything other than stick to this routine, get up, wake up, go to the gym, right? Come home, shower, get dressed, go to work. Or if I'm on base, shower on base, get dressed, go to the office. You have to have a powerful routine. But what are you doing? Not just rinse, wash, and repeat of waking up, going to the gym. What are you listening to? What are you feeding your mind? What are you manifesting for your day? And people have done this the wrong way for a long time and have been teaching it the wrong way for a long time. Self-affirmation and daily manifestation is important. What do you want from your day? What do you want from yourself? What must you do today? What must you do for yourself? What must you do for others? What mindset do you need for today? Are you writing down what needs to happen? I was talking to some of my wingmen and teammates, and one of the coolest things was I was showing them how I'm still a little old school. Yeah, I keep a calendar that has all my electrical debts, so, people, you can save appointments. I need that for all the appointments I have, but I also have a little book that prioritizes what I need to do for the day. Not just the calendar events, but like a list of priorities that I check it off. If I have 10 items and I'm checking them off, and at the end of the day, I've checked off all 10, and if maybe I might need to add something that I forgot about. But if I'm doing that, and then also in this book, you can write down what you're grateful for throughout the day. And also in this book, you can write down what you're eating for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And also in this book, I don't know if you're catching what I'm saying, but it's making sure that I'm not going into that day aimlessly. Into the day that I'm entering, I have a plan. Now, it's important. I'm grateful. We're talking about gratitude. I'm so grateful for the realization of how important it is to have a plan. And not going into my days aimless, not going into my weeks aimless, not going into my life aimless, relationships aimless, conversations aimless. Having a sense of direction, having a plan, taking my power back. What are you talking about, Winsom? Yes, now I'm going to tell you what that means about power. Because when you take your life back, or your mind back, you take your life back. When you take your life back, you do not allow the world to take your power away. You control it. 78.6 FM, positive vibes of Winsom. Are you moving through your day aimless? Or do you have direction? Do you control the power in your life, or do you allow the world to control you? Are you taking your power back? Are you moving into these days without a plan? These weeks without a plan? Who's writing your story? I'm just asking. I just work here. 78.6 positive vibes of Winsom. This is the gratitude segment. Shout out to Lead X. Kevin, thank you so much for the mentorship. The teammates, Kevin, thank you so much for the mentorship, the teamwork, the trust, the encouragement. It has been an amazing adventure to see how this has played out for the people in my community. Shout out to Trainer's Warehouse. Of course, Sue, you've been a blessing the entire time from day one, trusting me with being able to go out and speak, not only on your products, but to use them in the classroom and to share the new ones with me and prototypes, to be able to go out and test how to keep people educated, encouraged, and inspired throughout these sessions. It means a lot to me. Had a really wonderful conversation with a young lady from, I believe it's Rise and Thrive, Miss Catherine. Thank you so much for the conversation. She was such wonderful. I believe she's here in Australia. She had such wonderful energy. It was an amazing conversation. I had so much fun talking to her. You ever talk to somebody and it's about business, but you just can talk to them all day? It was one of those conversations. I was like, wow, she's really cool. It made me smile. And that's unique, man. That's rare that you talk to people that just bring joy into the conversation. I need that in my life, right? I was like, this is business, but this is somebody I would love to talk to as a friend, as a collaborator, and that just brings good energy into the conversation. I need that. I don't know if you guys hear what I'm saying, but I need that in my life. 78.6 FM, positive vibes of Winsom. Today, we're going to talk about the journey and where you are at in your story and why your story is so important. Why it's important for you to take your power back and start writing your pages now. We'll see you right after this break. 78.6 FM, Positive Vibes of Winsom. It's good to be back. I'm looking at the beautiful weather here. We went through a typhoon a day and a half ago. I want to say yesterday morning was recovery. So here in Okinawa, we had a typhoon. The second one in the last couple of weeks. We've been getting hit kind of hard this year. I remember 2 years ago, maybe almost 3, we had one that was really rough here in Yomitan Village to where I had to stay on base. No power, no water. It was intense, right? And I didn't expect it because we hadn't got hit that hard before. This was the one, if you guys weren't tracking, that it moved past Okinawa and then it doubled back and then it hit us really hard, right? So 78.6 FM, Positive Vibes of Winsom. We're talking about the journey, your story, your movie. What is the movie that you are writing today? First thing is, and I love this, and I wanted to say this because I say this in my classes, you are not bound to be the same person today that you were yesterday. Let's say that again. You are not bound to be the same person today that you were yesterday. What does that mean to you? That means that you can be whoever you choose to be. You show up however you choose to show up. You bring whatever energy you want to bring into that room. Every day you wake up is a new start. So if you're not accepting that and understanding that every day you wake up, put those 10 toes on the ground, that you can be whoever you choose to be, and you haven't started to be that person, then guess what? It's on you. You are your worst enemy or your own best friend. You choose. I choose to be my own best friend. I don't care. I choose, and my team knows if I can't be genuinely and authentically me today, I am miserable. The team that works with me right now knows that I am my authentic self. I practice and teach authentic leadership. I do not fake it. I do not chase awards. I do not chase validation. I am there for the people and to be the best version of me. I show up consistently. Even when I'm tired, they know I'll tell them, and I'm very transparent. Hey, y'all, I'm tired today. I ain't feeling it. But let's do it. And I flipped the switch a few years back when I had a chance in a specific position, a specific role, to watch other leaders that were chasing all the wrong things. I got to sit back and see senior leaders confused because when they were needed to lead, they weren't sure how to do it. Yeah, by the book, you can do everything to check off the list of, what a leader's supposed to do. You can manage well. But when it came to being a good leader, when it came to taking care of people, when it came to being there, they were confused. When are you talking about, Winsom? COVID. I had a team of 5 senior leaders. I was one of 5. And I realized that everybody's people were coming to me. I realized that all the drama, all the conversations, any confusion, people wanted me to help resolve it. They weren't going to the other 4. My philosophy, people first, mission always. Other philosophies, mission first, then people always. You can't say people always if the mission's first, because sometimes that gets in the way of the people, and you can't do it without the people. I'm just going to say that again. If I hear the philosophy, mission first, people always, kind of bass backwards. People first, mission always. You got to take care of the people. You got to take care of the parts of the machine that make the machine work. Because you expect the machine to be at its best, but your people aren't. It's not going to happen. 100% got to take care of the people first. 78.6 FM, Positive Vibes of Winsom. So I saw these managers when it was time for leaders to step up. And in 2019, I believe is when this happened, right? 2020 when COVID kicked off. We needed people that recognized that the world was changing. Not just a system, not just hours, not just circumstances. The world is changing. You are responsible for the minds and hearts of those people in front of you. And when the world changed, you didn't know your people well enough to take care of them. Come on, man. To put their minds and hearts at ease. to get ahead of confusion, to understand it, to see, to connect the dots. This is what's going on out here. How do I connect the dots to my people to put their minds and hearts at ease, to know that no matter what's happening out here in the world, we got them. They're in a good place. They're in a good space. Come on, man. Authentic leadership. Control your story. So I chose to show up different. I chose to show up and say, hey, you know what? I know y'all need somebody right now to give you some consistency. I know y'all need somebody right now to show you the positive and the negative. I know you need somebody right now to help you get through this. And there were things happening back home in the news that were really adding to the frustration and confusion and sadness. And it was like, whoa, we need people to step up. We need people to be leaders. Because in a lot of areas, in a lot of spaces, we create managers. But we don't create leaders. And then I needed these people, don't just do it here. Don't just do it while you're at work. Don't just lead while you're wearing your work outfit. When you take that off, you need to lead at home too. Not just for the folks who are in positions, for the people who are leaders of their family, of their homes, of their dorms, wherever you live, lead. And sometimes people take that role, lead, like you got to guide people. No, I need you to lead your life, be able to direct your own traffic, be able to do things that are right, to be able to build, develop, to not just yourself, but others. That is leading, to be able to educate, to encourage people. That's what leadership is. Leadership isn't about being able to convince someone to do something. You should be able to say it and people want to do it just because they're doing it for you. You see, it gets mixed up sometimes because it's not about the leader or want to do it for them, for the mission to drive. They want to do it for a promotion or to be validated or be looked at or to rise above others. And that's where you start getting a competition in the work centers. Authentic leadership. If you're doing it and you've built that community of psychological safety, guess what? That competition like that doesn't exist. Because that competition actually tears down teams versus building them up. 78.6 FM, positive vibes of Winsom. What is your story? I kind of went there because my story started there with this chapter of my life. I had just come back from Greenland and Kosovo. I've been overseas, responsible for small teams. Got the feeling as a NATO first shirt. Had an opportunity to be, NSC superintendent, national support element. Had a chance to be a part of the force support squadron or making sure that everybody's taken care of personnel-wise. In Greenland, I ran my own radio show and station. Ran my own radio station in Greenland. So it was significant what I learned before I came here. And then months after arriving here, COVID hits. Because I tell you, what I learned here is the airmen that we work for, the people, were living a great life. It was vacation time when they weren't at work, right? Hey, island life. Hey. Then COVID hit. Bam. Guess what? You can't hug each other no more. Can't be within 6 feet of each other. You can't go to the gym. Hey, guess what? You gotta. What? Everything changed. Oh, you going to the beach? Yeah, well, still keep your social distancing. Guess what? You can't go to the pool on base. You can't do. There was so much happening all at once, and you had to be able to digest it. Before you can communicate it, you had to understand the changes. And that's why now some of the lessons that are biggest in the world are like thriving through change or growing through change when it comes to team building exercises, because we seen what it was like for all this change to happen and managers weren't ready to guide their people through them. It was the craziest thing to witness. I was like, what? Wow. Now it's my turn. So I stepped in and showed out. And that was the start of my true leadership journey. Everything before that, experiences. I'll talk about leadership experiences. It was kind of like they were all those things were building me up. All those conversations, all those scenarios, all those locations, the different branches, the NATO journey, the short tour journey, the Arctic, being through the Arctic, wind speeds, and we call them typhoons here, but when it hits up there and you can't go outside because the wind is zipping around, all of that prepared me for here. So your story is preparing you for where you need to be. or where you're ending up. See, your story is building you up and giving you all of the tools that you need to be who you're supposed to be. And it's not about just teaching classes for me. I try to live what I teach. It's not about being in the booth. I try to live what I speak. It's not about going and finding these opportunities just to get in front of people. No, I'd rather be here talking to you than out there in front of 500 people. I'm more comfortable in here. I can be me in here. There's nobody here that I got to engage with, just you listening. And guess what? We don't have it set up for where you can call in, so it's really just me talking to you. 78.6 FM, Positive Vibes of Winsom. I am so excited to be back. I know I've said this a lot, but I just feel different. The world is different. The story is different. The vision is different. The goal is different. And I'll tell you, the journey has got me here. I realized how important it is, and over those years of experiences, to realize that my personal life, not everybody deserves access to me. What do you mean by that? Yeah, I give customers and I give my folks, leaders that I train, the people that I coach, yeah, they have access to me. That's business. But when it's my personal time, I started setting those boundaries in place to realize who doesn't deserve my energy, who I'm not reserving energy for, and focusing my energy on the things that actually matter to me, that are important to me, that I care about, that I love, projects, people that I really truly love and want to save energy for. So there's a lot of people that will drain you. And if you don't identify who those people are that will drain you, they will continue to drain you. There's actually people, places, and things that will take away from you. Some people have really bad habits that will take away from you. Some people go to places they know they shouldn't that will take away from you. What are you talking about, Winsom? I've been watching a lot of streamers lately, trying to understand that whole process. I'm seeing what these kids are doing and what is teaching our next generation that normal looks like. And it's not normal. A lot of things that they're pushing out there as normal is not normal. So I'm like, wow, this is what we're telling our next generation is like civilization norms. It's weird. And it's some of the things, I'll never speak names or talk specifics, but I will tell you, I'm concerned about some of the things that I'm seeing out there. I saw a 38-year-old washed up boxer acting like a predator around, I think it was a 28-year-old kid, and they're going in there and talking to people any kind of way. It's crazy. And then trying to normalize it. And then there's people following them. More to come about your story after this break. I'll see you in a minute. .6 FM, Positive Vibes of Winsom. There is no finish line. There is no finish line. When you're trying to improve, you're trying to grow, you're trying to be the best version of you, there is no finish line. I'm looking at people recently, 60, 70 years old, still improving themselves. I'm looking at people in their 50s starting their first business. I'm looking at people in their 60s doing things that 30-year-olds can't do. I just saw somebody run a marathon, like just fighting for that completion or that challenge and then accepting it and then going through with it. It's things that people are doing that shows you there is no finish line. The only finish line we have is when our existence no longer exists on this plane. So what are you doing with the time that you have? I was talking to a doc yesterday. I'm going through my VA appointments. I'll share this with you. I have no reason not to be transparent. He was the coolest doctor. This is from my psych evaluation. It was cool. And I was like, hey, this is what I'm experiencing, doc. This is what's going on. This is my life. This is my story. And the first part of this, he was really dope. He broke down and just wanted to frame my story. And then the second part of it was, hey, let's talk about the conditions that you have. So the first part, I'm telling them, man, and how those things played into the conditions that exist with me now when it comes to mental and physical. And of course, this is for my rating, so I'm very transparent. I'm very open. I know people play and game the system all the time, but I'm very transparent. I'm like, hey, I ain't got nothing to hide. This is what's going on with my life. And we got to the end of our conversation, time together, and this doc was talking about him. It was so cool. And he starts talking about, he's like, yeah, I'm 79 years old. I believe he's about to turn 80. And he said, there's absolutely nothing wrong with me. And I love that mindset. He said, hey, I don't take any medication for anything. He said, I like to play, I believe it was the guitar, whatever he does. He sings and plays the guitar in a jazz band up in mainland. And he loves to dance with his wife, who is also Japanese. He's not Japanese, but his wife is. And he was the coolest dude, man. I'm looking at this 80-year-old man telling me, life is good. I'm trying to be around as long as I can. He said, I want to see my grandson turn 20. That's my goal right now. His goal in life was to be around long enough to see his 8-year-old grandson turn 20. He said because there's a ceremony that they do when he turns 20. I believe it's like an adult. You're a man, right? And he said, I just want to be there for that. He said, then I'm done. My story is over. My journey, what I wanted, I've got it. Can you imagine that? This dude was telling me how he loved life. He continued living. His goals, his values, and everything over time changed to the point where he's at right now. He told me about when he was a youngin', getting arrested, his Vietnam experiences, and now at 80 years old, he just wants to see his grandson graduate or turn 20. He just wants to be around 12 more years. So that's what he's fighting for. I was like, yo, this is dope. I needed to hear this. I needed this right now in my life to hear. There is no finish line. A lot of people make excuses about why they haven't done what they want or why they haven't gone in the direction they wanted to. But a lot of people have been holding themselves up from hitting goals. A lot of people have no goals. You can't hit a target you can't see, but they have not yet written down what they want for their lives. They have not, at this point in their life, established what they truly want to accomplish in their life. And so when we talk about floating around aimlessly as a person, a leader, whatever, these people have no true direction. They settle. So if you're one of those people who has been settling, wake up. Bounce back, fight back, take your life back. We talked about in the first segment, take your power back. You have to decide who and what you truly want. I'm too old to do that. Well, unless it's being a NASA astronaut, you're likely not too old. There are old doctors going through medical school. You hear what I'm saying right now? There are old people becoming lawyers. It's people who are fighting right now for the vision that they want for their life. Before I go, just like I told you, this 80-year-old man, before I go, all I want to see is my grandson turn 20, and I have lived a complete life. Everything I've wanted, I've done. Everywhere I've wanted to go, I've gone. What does that look like for you? When he said that, I was like, man, you know what? I love you. You are so, we're both smiling by the end of my VA appointment. This dude truly inspired me. And the whole point of that conversation was supposed to be just for me to get my VA rating, my mental health rating. But at the end of the conversation, I was motivated and inspired to live. It's beautiful. He said, there's nothing wrong with me. I refuse to take medication. He said, oh, yeah, your sleep thing? I taught myself how to sleep. 40 years I've been practicing medicine. In this last couple of years, I taught myself how to get a good night. Taught. So I don't have to rely on medication to do it. Man, let me tell you something. When you hear people talk about living, it inspires you to live. It encourages you to want more. I walked out of that conversation like, yo, I'm going to get it, man. I don't care what it is. I'm going to go get something. You know what I'm saying? This man right here, if he can do that, I can do that. If he can live till 80 and start new goals, new vision, new fights, I can do that right now. Be proud of your accomplishments, but don't settle for them. I'll tell you, leaving out of one chapter into another can be a very humbling experience as well. I was great at what I did. That doesn't mean that I'm going to get a great start at the next role. There's people right now that were superheroes while they were in the last chapter. When they get to the new chapter, it's kind of starting over. But some of them can't take that mentally. Me, I'm excited about it. I don't want to be the same kid on the block that I was. I want to be able to have a fresh start. When I tell you I want to be whoever I choose to be for this next chapter, that is my goal. Oh, well, they told me you were this type of facilitator. You had a lot of energy. Yeah, but when I come in here, I'm going to change it up a little bit. I'm going to switch it up with a different focus. Something I've always wanted to do. Think about that. You are not bound to be. Be proud of your accomplishments, but don't be complacent. When you climb that first mountain, always look for the next. When you've made that first accomplishment, when you've achieved something, a lot of us settle. Like I've done a lot of things, say, I've done that, I did that, I've gone there, I've accomplished that. But now I'm looking for other things to do. I'm not settling, I'm not sitting back, I'm not chilling. I think people, they laugh at me because me and one of my wingmen were always building something. I'm the guy, I always call them side quests. I always got a side quest somewhere. I'm building for someone or doing something. But the point is, I'm always putting myself in a position to where I'm never feeling like I'm sitting still. I never want to feel like I'm sitting still. There's too much that I want to do, too much that I see for my life, too many places I want to go, too many adventures I still want to have. Right off cuff right now, one of the things, before I leave this region, I want to go back to Australia. Before I leave this region, I want to go back to Singapore. Before I leave this region, I want to build the coaching program that I had in my mind to build. I just need to get started. You know, there's been hurdles, there's been situations, mountains I had to climb to get here, but I'm ready to do it. So when I say all of these things, when we talk about where I'm at and listening to these conversations that I've been having and reflecting on them, which is so important to reflect. Don't just listen to people and don't just have conversations, reflect on them. And I realized there's so much more to life, so much more than just the journey itself. And how do we pass that on? Man, I know there's people that are watching me. I didn't realize how significant that was until my son joined the Air Force last year. Then I realized there's always someone watching you. Not just you watching yourself and your story in the mirror and all that crap. No, there's always someone watching you. You want to really be motivated? Look at pictures from 2 years ago. Scroll. And just watch your story unfold. Hopefully it goes in a positive direction. Just watch. All the places, all the people, all the situations, the stories you might have forgotten. If you go back further, it's even more enlightening. 5 years ago, I saw a picture pop up from when I first got to Europe. And I was like, wow, I forgot that feeling. I was so overwhelmed. I forgot what it felt like to arrive for the first time and working with the Army directly for the first time, being in NATO for the first time. And I was looking back, this is the pictures that are popping up, and I love Facebook for that, right? They go memories and just randomly throw something at you. Look at your kids if you have them, how much they've grown, developed, some of those old experiences that help shape who they are. What's next? Be proud of all those stories, but don't settle. What's next? You've done it. You've been there. You've got the trophy. What is next? Don't quit before you have an opportunity to see something through. There's a lot of people that I've heard start projects, and I've been guilty of that at times when I get overwhelmed with too many things at once, but don't quit the project and you might be a few feet away from it. And sometimes that project is you. A goal you had, something you're building, somewhere you wanted to go, any kind of thing that you have in your mind that you wanted to accomplish, don't quit too soon. Sometimes it requires you reaching out to somebody who's done it, which I've realized was probably the most significant step that I can take on my journey is connecting with people who are actually doing what I want to do. Some of the most incredible people, when they see you really fighting for something, especially when they see the goodness in you and they see how driven you are, they want to help you. When they see in you probably what they were like when they were starting the journey and they have an opportunity, they want to give back. So if you haven't already done it, you're so close to goal, something that you see for yourself or that you want, and you've been putting it off, or you're so close, but you're like, I don't know, is this something that's keeping me from getting over that hump? Fight for it. Reach out to someone that's going to help you get there. Don't give up. Don't leave that as something that you coulda, woulda, shoulda. And there's a lot of people that do that all the time. Oh, man, I wish if I had more time. No, time ain't guaranteed. Time ain't promised to nobody. You got to go get it while you can. And sometimes you might have to press pause, but that doesn't mean you can't press play when it's time to go. Or press and pause just to outline the direction you want to go in. Press pause just to take a step back and look at it, because you can't see it if your nose is on it. Sometimes you need to press pause. And when you do it, don't forget to press play. That means go. That means go. 78.6 FM Positive Vibes, Winsom. I'm so proud of the people that right now in June of 2026, you've been fighting for your goals and you've been knocking them out. That you've been accomplishing those things that you had set in your mind to do, that you put yourself in the positions to be the best version of you, that you've grown more than you had a year ago, that you're not standing in the same place today that you were a year ago, meaning that you have changed, that you have grown, that you have overcome challenges, that you have climbed over, under, or around the hurdles that were trying to keep you from where you wanted to be right now. Keep fighting. Don't get comfortable. There is no finish line. Don't give up on any goal that you have. It might seem like it's too far. It might seem like even though it's within reach, it's impossible for you. Reach out to somebody that can help you connect the dots to get there. Whatever it is. 78.6 FM, Positive Vibes with Winsom. What is your story? And are you taking your power back? I've been talking to y'all about that for weeks, for months, about how you control your energy, you control your decisions, you control your power, you control who has access to you, you control what you do with your time, you control how you let your mind move, maneuver, navigate things and control. Does your mind have control over you, or do you have control over your mind? The one time I realized that we can only control what's within our control. You guys may not have even caught it, but a few months back in March, I believe it was, I lost access to this side of my face. This entire side of my face was done. The condition had it to where it was kind of painful in my ear, but my face, I couldn't feel it. I was teaching and my mouth was blah, 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 blah. It was crazy. But what I could still do was stay positive. What I could still do was what I love. I could still teach. I took a little break from in-person teaching, but I was still teaching online, just moving my face to the side. I could be transparent with the students. This is what's going on with me, but I would rather be nowhere else than right here with you. And I did that because the only thing I can control was me. I can't control that half of my face, but I can control my energy, my focus, my attention. And that's what I did. 78.6 FM, Positive Vibes with Winsom. Today we're talking about what is your story and you taking control of it. We'll be right back after this break. 78.6 FM, Positive Vibes of Winsom. We're back. And today we're going to talk about exactly what else is going on. Are you taking your story back? Are you in control of your movie? Or are you letting your movie control you? I had a couple of great things that we were talking about before, some great topics. I told you about the 80-year-old man that pretty much had me re-look at my entire life, my entire path for my next chapter. You see, I was ready to settle and dial it in. You guys think it's funny, but when you retire after 28 years, you're like, hey, it's time to call it in. It's been 28 years. But then you hear him who's been doing what he loves for 40 years after serving another amount of years. I believe he said another 20 years in the service. So think about this. Someone who their next chapter was doing what they love. So he said, I did what I had to do so I can do what I want to do. I believe Oprah said that, and he was living it. So when I heard him say that, it inspired me, it encouraged me. I'm like, yo, wait a minute. I've been looking at this thing wrong. I need to get in the game. My energy was different after that conversation. This young man at 80 years old said, I want to live my life to meet the goals that I have. And if I hit the goals that I have, and the only goal I have left is to live healthy without taking any medication and to be around long enough to see my 8-year-old grandson turn 20 years old so I can be there for his ceremony. Man, that motivated me. So what's my plan? What's your plan? What are you around for? What are you fighting for? And if you didn't hear his story, and if you didn't catch it, your goals, your values, everything changes over time because your story changes. Your location, the people around you, your priorities change over time as you get older. Family dynamics shift. Your kids become, well, I got grandkids. The kids are adults, right? If you're an adult, you're retiring or you're going into a second chapter, whatever it is, you will change. Things will change. Stories will change. Are your goals changing to align with them? When he said that, I'll take a look back, I was like, man, I love this. You know what? I need to relook at myself because I thought I had a plan. I thought I was just going to be that old man, the old retiree talking about back in my day, right? No, I need to do more than that. It's time to take this next chapter somewhere great. What's to say that this chapter can't be even more significant than the first one? What are my goals for this chapter? My goal is to be great, to do something cool. No, what is the real goal? He gave me a real, tangible, pass-fail goal. One of many that he had, right? I don't want to be on any medications to live. 1. I want to see my grandson turn 20. 2. I want to continue to move. He said he loves dancing with his wife. It gets him and her on their feet. He said, I want to continue to move until I can no longer do it, until I'm no longer here. That means he doesn't want those physical limitations. So that means he wants to go as far as his body and mind will take him. What? What is our excuse? I know a lot of you. I want to be great. I want to make an impact. I want to be remembered. I want to do something my name will be remembered. I get it. I do. But is that tangible? Is that giving you direction? Is that telling you exactly what it is that you want to do and accomplish? No. Some people are doing little pieces of it, right? I had a brother just got his PhD. I love you, Joe. Congratulations. Got another brother who got picked up for positions coming back to PACAV. Congratulations. So my thing to them in our conversations, what are you going to do with it? I'm already putting Joe on point. Hey, I need you for some assessments I'm building right now, right? I got a brother, Derek, who can build all day, every day projects, assessments, databases, websites, whatever. He's a little experienced, a little bit of everything. What did it say? Master of none? But he is amazing when it comes to building. So all I'm there for is direction. Cool. What are you going to do with all that? Sounds good, but what are you doing with it? 78.6 FM, Positive Vibes with Winsom. Are you taking your life back? And is this chapter that you're in right now, if you've gotten to the part of that chapter where you've already gained and grown and discovered a lot about yourself, how are you giving it back? You see, because you get to a point in your chapter like I am in this one, where it's time for me to give back to others. Time for me to teach others how to do exactly what I'm doing. Or how to teach others how to avoid the same pitfalls and mistakes and scenarios that limited my progress. how to keep others from making those same mistakes, how to help someone grow, how to make sure that the next team that's coming up doing what I'm doing is better than me. Not skipping all the parts that are important for them to know, to grow, and to learn. No, but from giving them those cheat codes. Hey, I wouldn't go left here because that's where you'll bump your head. I wouldn't go right here because there's a hole. I wouldn't walk straight here. I'd jump because, you see what I'm saying? Just giving direction and guidance and making sure that you're encouraging somebody to be better than you were when it was your time. I'm blessed because everyone in those seats that I left truly were prepared to take the stories into a better location, a better direction. I have absolutely no complaints. I have absolutely no fear, no regrets about who took my place in every aspect and every seat that I've ever had, because I did everything I could to prepare them for what they were taking on. And I gave them everything I knew, everything I had. 78.6 FM, Positive Vibe of Winsom. How are you giving back in the chapter of your life that you're in? Are you in that stage where you can? Because sometimes it might still be about you trying to build it. I get it. You're still trying to survive. But how are you giving back if you're in that stage in your story where you can? Who are you bringing with you? And if you call yourself a leader, who's following? It's kind of important to know that, because some people think they're leaders, but they're really just good managers. 78.6 FM, Positive Vibes of Winsom. I'm really excited to be back on the air. I won't be here next week, see what I'm saying? I won't be here next week. 4th of July weekend, I'll be out picking up my kids. The kids are coming here to Okinawa, so I'm really excited about that. So next week, you won't see my face, but I'll be back the following week, right? So 78.6 FM, Positive Vibes of Winsom. I'm excited to share this message before my 1 week break. I can't wait to see you guys again, man. And let's see what we'll talk about next time. Today was really just taking your story back, man. The story that you've written for yourself, the successes, the wins, the championship belts that you've accomplished over the life, right? What are you doing with it? What does that mean to you? How are you showing up every single day? If you're a leader, are you leading, or are you really just a manager? Are you taking your life back at home and at work, or are you just picking one? The funniest thing is we start talking about how to integrate the two, work and home, for a lot of people, and they didn't realize there was an imbalance there. Take a look at yourself. Do a self-assessment. Do a survey. Write down some things. Write down your real, tangible goals that you have for this chapter of your life. Who are you trying to become, and why? What is it about these things that you see for yourself that are important to you? An 80-year-old man told me he wants to live. A, to see his 8-year-old grandson turn 20. B, to stay off medication and to live a fully healthy life that he can control. And C, to keep dancing until he can't dance no more with his wife. What are you trying to do? None of us are at that age. The people that I know, 80 years old, having to make plans. But what are your plans, your goals, your values, and how are you fighting for what's important to you right now? What does that look like? Who are you trying to become? Because a lot of us think that we're at our finish line already or close to it. No. Unless the world says different, you have a lot more living to do. Live. Take your story back. Take your power back. Stop giving people, places, and things access to you that don't deserve it. Stop giving your energy to people, places, and things that don't need it. Control your mind. Don't let your mind control you. Make sure you have a plan, that you can see what you want for your life, that you're not going into every day aimless. Who and what are you trying to become? What is your story? If you're finished writing your first book in life, what's the next one going to look like? Because there's authors that don't just write one book. They don't settle. That's not the finish line. They're already thinking about what's going into the next book. Mine is coming up. You are loved, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. I'll see you in 2 weeks. Peace.